Well, hello everyone. Welcome back for another video. Let's see, you guys will probably be seeing this on Friday. So happy Friday, everybody. I hope that your week has gone really well. How's everybody doing? How are you all feeling? I'm feeling great. It's so nice out today. Today is Wednesday. I'm actually going to be batch filming a couple of videos so that I can get them posted while we are out of town this weekend. Tomorrow is Thursday for us. We're going to be pretty busy with just preparing for our trip. It's a very long drive. I think it's like an 11-hour drive or something like that. And we have a couple stops to make along the way. So we're just trying to get everything done today video-wise so that we can just get packing and everything for tomorrow. I need to make my list. I need to probably do some laundry. I need to run to the grocery store and grab some snacks, all the things. But anyways, getting into our video. Hi, my name is Shelby. This is True North Budgets. My fiance and I are on a journey to become debt-free. We're also on a journey to catch back up in some of our sinking funds after a pretty devastating layoff that happened for me back in February. So on this channel, we do budget with me's, we do cash stuffings, we do cash unstuffings, condensings, all the things. If any of that is interesting for you, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. But let's go ahead and jump into the video today. And also, guys, if there's any questions that you have for me, or if there's any other content outside of budgeting related content that you would be interested in seeing, please feel free to let me know. And I will see what I can do about getting that content added into the cycle. But we're going to be doing a budget with me for the second week of May. So I am paid weekly from my unemployment as well as my Spark delivery service. Tanner, my fiance, is paid bi-weekly from his job as a detention officer. So his check will not be included in this. We did that in the first week's video. If you are not familiar with that video, I will go ahead and try to remember to leave it linked in the cards for you guys. This is my custom budget paper that I created for myself. I have a whole binder. I will be getting it listed on my Etsy store. My Etsy storefront is linked in all of the videos in the description. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for new things being posted very soon. I have a couple things posted right now. They are not budgeting related, but just to keep that linked in case you are interested in some budgeting related content in the future. But anyways, getting into the video, I will go ahead and get you guys zoomed in just a little bit. Okay, I got you zoomed in, so I went ahead and pre-filled in some of our income numbers just because I knew those off the top of my head and wanted to have them prepared. So this is going to be for the 9th through the 15th of May. And the income that we're working with is my unemployment and Spark delivery income, as well as the rollover from last week. So for Spark and unemployment, I have $809 coming in. And then for our rollover from last week, we were left with $1,052. That brings our total to $1,861 that we will be working with today. So moving into our budgeting sections, our bills, the only bill we have coming out this week is going to be our Verizon bill. That's our phone bill. And that bill is $218 is what we budgeted. I did peek ahead and it is a little bit more than that, but that's okay because we did have some bills that ended up being quite a bit less than what we budgeted. So that'll all balance out in the end of the month. Subscriptions, we have a couple that we need to budget for this week. That's going to be our Cricket and our Peacock membership. This is one that I mentioned earlier that is going to be less than what we budgeted. And then we have our gym membership. Our gym membership is one that we pay quarterly, but I do budget for monthly just to make sure that we have enough when it comes time to pay that bill. So our Cricket is $10. Our Peacock, we budgeted $8. It's actually only going to be $2, but we'll just use that leftover to pay, like to cover that overage in our phone bill and things like that. And then our gym membership is $55 every month. In our last category here, our debt category, we have 2 debts that we need to pay this month. I have one of my Best Egg loans, and then my First Mark, which is my student loans. And my Best Egg loan is $165, and then my student loan is $709. So that's it for our bills. The variables that we budget for over here, that's going to be gas, groceries, and eating out. And we will be budgeting $32 for gas this week, $400 for, or excuse me, not 400. Let me wait that out here. $200 for groceries, and then $20 for eating out. So let's go ahead and get these totals and figure out what we are left with for our savings, and then we will move into those categories. So for bills, our total was $218. For subscriptions, we have 10 plus 8 plus 55, bringing us to $73. I am getting a new calculator in the mail today, you guys, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I hate this calculator so much. It just feels very cheap. I think it was like $1 at Walmart, and like the buttons just feel really cheap. It doesn't really work that great. Sometimes the buttons don't hit all the way, so I'm so excited. But moving into our debt, we have $165 plus $709 brings us to $874. And then for our variables, we have 32, 200, and 20. And that brings us to $252. So to figure out what's left, I'm going to take our total income and subtract out each category to figure out what we have remaining at the end of our variables. So we have $1861, and we will take out $218. Takes us to $1643, and then we'll take out $73, takes us to $1570, and then we'll take out the $874, brings us to $696, and then we'll take out the $252, brings us to $444. So that is it for our bills and variable expenses for this week. We have $444 left to work with for our sinking fund categories. And there's just a few that I wanted to budget for this week. I wanted to budget for taxes because my Spark income is not taxed. So I have to set aside taxes to be able to pay that either at the end of the year, or I'm hoping that I can pay it quarterly to avoid fees and things like that. And then unemployment, they only take 10% out of unemployment, so that's just not a lot. That is way less than the normal tax rate that I pay out of, so I also will use some of that to help cover not enough taxes being paid throughout the year. And then I take a portion from my Spark and put it towards car maintenance things, so that I'm making sure that I can save for oil changes, tires, regular maintenance on my car, because I'm putting more wear and tear on my car while I'm driving. And then I'm actually going to do a little bit of spending money for both Tanner and myself, because I didn't budget any spending money for us this month in my monthly budget with me that I posted a couple days ago, but I made a little bit extra in Spark this week so far. I'm like almost $200 over what I had made, so I thought that it would be okay to budget a little bit for that. And then travel, I also did not include, but I took out some of my extra income that I've brought in from Spark and put it towards travel. Same with clothes. So for taxes, we're going to budget 45. For car maintenance, I'm going to budget 10. And then for each of our spending money, we're going to budget 10 as well. And then for travel, we're going to do 50, and same with clothes. So adding all of that up, we have 45, 10, 10, 10, 50, and 50. Brings us to 175. And then if we take out the 444 and we subtract the 175, that leaves us with $269 that will roll into week 3. I explained this in my video yesterday, or maybe not yesterday, my last budget with me for the month of, or for week 1 of May, and I am not concerned about having a zero-based budget week over week, but I do want our monthly budget to be a zero-based budget. So I will fill in exact amounts, and at the end of the month we will budget every cent that we brought in. So I'll actually go over that in the final budget with me for the month, and there actually may be 6 budget with me's because Tanner is paid bi-weekly, and that's kind of how I base my budget, but I'm paid weekly, so there's 6 weeks of income where we're getting income every single week. But yes, so we have $269 that'll roll over to week 3. That video will come up sometime next week, but I'm going to batch film a couple more videos today, probably the cash stuffing for week 2 as well as an unstuffing. I know that in my last video I said that the unstuffing was going to be the next video, but I wanted to get, because we're traveling this weekend, I wanted to make sure that I got in my budget with me and my cash stuffing for week 2, since we are not going to be in town this weekend. But other than that, I think that's about all that I have for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around. It was great to hang out with you for a little bit. I hope you have a great weekend, a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.